The traditional ruler of Bamendjou in the West region is the only traditional ruler in Cameroon who refused to be bought by the CPD. He remained as a traditional ruler and he held on to the culture of his village, of his ancestor. And because of this post-election crisis and violence, he came out with this message to Cameroonians. And it is so painful that a traditional ruler of his age will say he is sending out the last tears from his eyes. The traditional rulers of Bamendjou, for Sokojon Poda, has issued a stern warning to authorities as post-election protest is spread across Cameroon, urging humility and restraint in the face of growing public anger. Reflecting on the ongoing unrest, the outspoken mourner is said that the Anglophone crisis should have taught leaders the cause of arrogance, deceit, and condescension, cautioning them that the country cannot afford to open another front. There is no honor in claiming victory over one's own people through force, repression, and arrest. He said, lamenting that arrogance, contempt, and excessive zeal have pushed the nation to the brink. For Sokoto, called on the government to set aside pride and listen to the cries and tears of people simply asking for a better life and for truth. He extended condolences to families of victims and appealed to the youth to protest peacefully, stressing that violence would only deepen the wounds of an already fragile nation. This is a traditional ruler. You quite remember we presented a video when traditional rulers went to the Unity Palace to give their support to President Paul Biya. He was the only traditional ruler who refused to, and he was the only traditional ruler who came out and shamed all the traditional rulers who went in there and say President Paul Biya has caused calamity in Cameroon. President Paul Biya is responsible for all the trouble in Cameroon, and traditional rulers who are supposed to be in their villages and taking care of the villagers packed their things, paid their transport, and went to Yaoundé to give support to President Paul Biya. He was the one who made that particular statement, and he is coming back now with another strong message calling the people, the government of President Paul Biya, that the only thing keeping them in power is pride. Pride not over the nation, but over themselves. Arrogant. And then he asked them to learn a lesson that he was thinking that for all these 9 years, the government, they have learned a lesson from the ongoing Anglophone crisis. But he came to discover that they have learned nothing. And they are trying again to open another front, conflict in Cameroon, in which they are unable to handle the conflict in southern Cameroon. We honor you, our traditional ruler. I believe this is the only traditional ruler in Cameroon. The other ones, they are civil servants working for the government and receiving salary every month. But this one, he say he is there for his people, for his village, and for the development of Cameroon.